Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Muhammad Nazalul Fawwadz, NIM 2519113. Saya dari Tbig-B. Di sini saya akan mempresentasikan mengenai judul proposal skripsi saya, The Implementation of Collaborative Strategy Reading and its Effect on Students' Reading Comprehension. Abstract. This research aimed to find out, number one, the students' attitude toward CSR in teaching reading comprehension, and number two, the role of CSR and its effect on students' reading comprehension. The study was experimental, which involved two groups, experimental and control groups. The research was conducted at SMA Negeri 1 Bandar with 40 students as respondents. The instruments of data collection were pre-test, treatment, post-test, and questionnaire. The reading test was administered to both groups. The scores were assessed by two assessors. The data were analyzed and interpreted by means of SPSS. The study reveals that the implementation of CSR has a significant effect on students' reading proficiency in terms of content of the text, preview, click and clung, get the gist, and wrap up. The results of students' reading score from pre-test to post-test demonstrate a significant difference. Okay, next to the introduction. The introduction is, reading is one of the subjects which is examined in final examination. In English study, referring to part 2, reading comprehension is a process of readers interacting and constructing meaning from the text, implementing the use of prior knowledge and the information found in the text. As we know that the more we read, the more we know. Through this statement, we realize how important reading in increasing our mind and perspective. We can say that reading is a key to get information. Teaching and learning reading comprehension is not necessary if we know the way or technique how to comprehend the reading text. There are many strategies and methods which can be used in teaching reading comprehension. The reality of the teaching and learning reading comprehension in SMA Negeri 1 Bandar reveals that students have problems and tend to find many difficulties in reading comprehension. So far, based on the researchers' preliminary research by interview with the teachers and students in this college, there are a number of crucial issues concerning the teaching and learning of reading comprehension. First of all, some students always feel bored when they are studying reading because they do not know the technique to understand the reading material easily and they lack vocabulary. Secondly, students' poor knowledge becomes one cause that makes them difficult to comprehend the reading text. Next, the students' condition during learning process is low motivation and uninteresting in content of material. So, the researcher is interested in presenting the collaborative strategy reading and teaching them. As we know that the collaborative strategy reading is cooperative learning strategy that can help the students to solve their problem in reading comprehension. In this learning strategy, students will study by small group. CSR was developed by Janet K. Klingner and Sharon CSR is a reading comprehension technique that combines two instructional elements. Number one, modified reciprocal teaching, and number two, cooperative learning or students pairing. In reciprocal teaching, teacher and students take turns leading a dialogue concerning key features of the text through summarizing, questioning, clarifying, and predicting. And in the cooperative learning, the students brainstorming, predict, clarify words and phrase, highlight the main idea, summarize the main ideas and important detail, and ask and answer questions. Concerning CSR, used by students who learn English, in her study suggests the four strategies in teaching reading comprehension: review, brainstorming, or prior knowledge. Click and climb, identify the difficulty and understanding material. Get the gist, find out or identify the main ideas and informations, and wrap up or ask and answer question. The story from English textbooks that they read. The four strategies are related to students' interaction with other people as the effect of CLT movement in English language teaching. Thus, CLT movement has brought social interaction to an important position that as a core of communication. It plays a significant role in language learning, referring to Brown. Interaction is the heart of communication, where everything about communication happens in interaction. Moreover, Oxford suggests that involvement other people in the process of learning language is very important. Because language is communication, Bandura agrees with the concept regarding the role of interaction in learning process by saying that people cannot achieve their accomplishment on their own ability. They need others' help. Bandura, the role of social interaction in language learning is actually an important element of constructing knowledge and understanding of the target language. In this case, a study which is intended to enhance students' motivation and improve their students' proficiency and in reading comprehension is considered necessary. CSR strategy can be considered as a strategy that can solve the problems above. The researcher chose CSR because CSR is still controversial issue. It can be seen from the previous studies that many researchers have investigated to CSR. It has a positive response on the use of CSR in reading classroom because it can improve students' proficiency. Next to the literature review. Learning is the process of acquiring knowledge, skills, attitudes, or values through study, experience, or teaching that cause a change of behavior that is persistent, measurable, and specific to or allow an individual to formulate a new mental construct or revise a prior mental. Declare that the result of each learning experience is not only the content, but also the greater ability of acquiring future learning tasks. The result of learning involves information, ideas, skills, values, way of thinking, means of expression, and learn how to learn. Number one, nomor satu ini ada kolaboratif strategi reading. CSR is the combination of two methods. namely teaching the reciprocal strategy and cooperative learning, group activity, or student pairing. CSR is designed for students who have very low comprehension in reading English text. This strategy is used to promote content learning, language acquisition, and reading comprehension in English classroom. According to Lucille Sullivan, collaborative strategy reading is an excellent technique for teaching students reading comprehension and building vocabulary and also working together cooperatively. In CSR, students learn four techniques: preview, click and clang, get the gist, and wrap up. Preview is used before reading the entire text for the lessons, and wrap up is used after reading the entire text for the lessons. The other two strategies, click and clang and get the gist, are used multiple times while reading the text in each paragraph. Next, a preview is a strategy used to activate students' prior knowledge in order to facilitate their prediction about what they will read and to generate interest. A teacher introduces previewing to students by asking them to think about the preview they have seen at the movies or reading text. The teacher prompts students to tell what they learned from previews by asking questions such as, do you learn who is going to be in the movie? Or do you learn in what historical period the movie will take place? The teacher then asks them to skim information such as headings, pictures, and words that are bolded or underlined to determine what they know about the topic and what they think they will learn by reading the text. Next, to click and clang is a strategy that teaches students to monitor their understanding during reading and to use fix-up strategies when they realize their failure to understand text. The teacher describes a click as something that you really get, you know it just clicks. After students understand, the teacher explained, a clang is like when you run into a brick wall, you just really don't understand a word the author is using, that's a clang. Then the teacher reads a short piece aloud and asks students to listen carefully for clangs. The teacher asks students to write down their clangs and then teach fix-up strategies to figure out the clangs. The teacher can use clang cards as reminders of fix-up strategies. And the next, get the gist. Okay, the gist is a strategy to help students identify main ideas during reading. One way to identify the main idea is to answer the following question. A. Who or what is it about? And B. What is most important about the who or what? In addition, students are taught to limit their response to 10 words or less. So, their gist conveys the most important idea, but not unnecessary details. Get the gist can be taught by focusing on the one paragraph at a time. While students read the paragraph, the teacher asks them to identify the most important person, place, or thing. Then the teacher asks students to tell what is the most important about the person, place, or thing. Finally, the teacher teaches students to put it all together in a sentence containing 10 words or less. Next to wrap up. Wrap up is a strategy that teaches students to generate questions and to review important ideas in the text they have read. The teacher initially teaches students to wrap up by telling students to pretend they are teachers and to think of questions they will ask on a test. The teacher suggests the following question: starters: who, what, when, where, why, and how. The teachers also encourage students to generate some questions that require an answer involving higher level thinking skills rather than literal recall. Finally, the teacher asks students to write down the most important ideas from the day's reading assignment. The students are able to apply CSR's reading comprehension strategies and help each other while working in their cooperative groups. The teacher's role in to circulate among groups and provide ongoing assistance. Teachers help by actively listening to students' discussion and providing feedback, clarifying difficult words, modeling strategy usage, encouraging students to participate, and providing positive reinforcement. The focus of students' work should be on learning the material and helping their classmates learn it as well, not merely going through the steps of a given strategy. Also, teachers should regularly conduct world-class previews and wrap-ups to introduce new material, facilitate follow-up activities, and reinforce learning. Next, to material for CSR. The following materials may be helpful as we assist students to use both cooperative learning techniques and comprehension strategies. Cue cards or sheets can be effective reminders of cooperative learning rules. Cue cards outline the procedures to be followed in cooperative learning groups and provide structure and support for students while they are learning CSR. Each role comes with a corresponding cue sheet that explains the steps to be followed to fulfill that role. Cue sheets seem to help students stay focused and on task and increase their confidence. Students should discontinue use of the cue sheets when they feel secure in carrying out their roles. Next, CSR learning logs enable students to keep track of learning as it happens and provide a springboard for follow-up activities. Logs furnish an additional way for our students to participate actively in their groups. Logs can be used for recording ideas while applying every strategy, or only used for some of the strategies. Example for writing down claims and key ideas. Next, reading materials in CSR was designed primarily to be used with expository text found in social studies and other content area textbooks. Yet, CSR can also be used with narrative text. You should select reading material with well-formed, interesting passages that are conducive to strategy application. Such material is characterized by some steps which are providing clues that help students with predict what they will be learning, have one main idea in a paragraph, and providing context that helps students connect information. Next, time. A timer is optional. Kitchen timers that students set by themselves can help groups to remain on task and not get excessively bogged down with any one strategy or step in the CSR process. For example, the timekeeper might say, "We have 10 minutes to write down everything we already know about the topic." Then the timekeeper will set the timer for 10 minutes. An alternative is for the teacher to set one timer and direct students in their groups to carry out the strategies for a set period of the time. Number three, to the students' roles. Students' roles are an important aspect of CSR because cooperative learning seems to work best when all groups members have been assigned a meaningful task. Roles should rotate on a regular basis so that students can experience a variety of roles and so that everyone takes a turn being the leader. Students can perform more than one role at a time, if necessary. Possible roles include the following: 1. Leader. Students lead the group in the implementation of CSR by saying what to read next and what strategy to apply next. The leader asks the teacher for assistance if necessary. Number 2. Clown expert. Students use clown cards to remind the groups of the steps to follow when trying to figure out a difficult word or concept. Number 3. Announcer. Students call on different groups members to read or share an idea. He or she makes sure everyone participates and only one person talks at a time. Number 4. Encourager. Students watch the group and gives feedback. He or she looks for behavior to praise. The students encourage all groups members to participate in the discussion and assist one another. He or she evaluates how well the group has worked together and gives suggestions for improvement. Number 5. Reporter. During the whole class wrap-up, the student reports to the class the main idea the group learned and shares a favorite question the group has generated. And number 6. Timekeeper. Student sets the timer for each portion of CSR and lets the group know when it's time to move on. The teacher might do this instead of students. Next, to the teacher's roles. Teachers can help by actively listening to students' conversation and, if necessary, clarifying difficult words, modeling strategy usage, encouraging students to participate, and modeling a helpful attitude. It is expected that students will need assistance learning to work in cooperative groups, implementing the strategies, and mastering academic content. Next, to reciprocal strategy. Reciprocal strategy is a strategy to teach reading where the teacher and students share responsibility for interpreting the material. The students and the teacher go through 4 steps of summarizing, question generating, clarifying, and predicting. Reciprocal teaching is a research-based strategy with a growing body of studies cementing its foundation. Addition Palinsar states the purpose of reciprocal teaching is to facilitate a group effort between teacher and students as well as among students in the task of bringing meaning to the text. And 1. Summarizing provides the opportunity to identify and interpret the most important information in the text. Text can be summarized across sentences, across paragraphs, and across the passage wall. When the students first begin the reciprocal teaching procedure, their efforts are generally focused at the sentence and paragraph levels. As they become more proficient, they are able to integrate at the paragraph and passage level. Next, to question generating. reinforces the summarizing strategy and carries the learner one more step along in the comprehension activity. When the students generate questions, they first identify the kind of information that is significant enough to provide the substance for a question. They then post this information in question form and self-test to ascertain that they can indeed answer their own question. Question generating is a flexible strategy to the extent that students can be taught and encouraged to generate questions at many levels. For example, some school situations require that students master spotting detailed information. Others require that the students be able to infer or apply new information from text. Next, to clarifying, is an activity that is particularly important when working with students who have a history of comprehension difficulty. The students may believe that the purpose of reading is saying the words correctly. They may not be particularly uncomfortable that the words, and in fact the passage, are not making sense. When the students are asked to clarify, their attention is called to the fact that there may be many reasons why text is difficult to understand. Example, new vocabulary, unclear reference words, and unfamiliar and perhaps difficult concepts. They are taught to be alert to the effects of such impediments to comprehension and to take the necessary measures to restore meaning. Example, reread, ask for help. Next, to predicting occurs when students hypothesize what the author will discuss next in the text. In order to do this successfully, students must activate the relevant background knowledge that they already possess regarding the topic. The students have a purpose for reading: to confirm or disprove their hypothesis. Furthermore, the opportunity has been created for the students to link the new knowledge they will encounter in the text with the knowledge they already possess. The prediction strategy also facilitates use of text structure as students learn that headings, subheadings, and questions embedded in the text are useful means of anticipating what might occur next. Next, to number 6, cooperative learning definition. There are many definitions of cooperative learning from many experts. States that cooperative learning is a group learning activity organized in such a way that learning is based on the socially structured change information between learners in group in which each learner is held accountable for his or her own learning and is motivated to increase the learning of others. Parker defines cooperative learning as a learning condition in which learners makes interaction in small groups to do the academic task in order to reach the same purpose. Meanwhile, the fiction says cooperative learning meant to work or to act together or jointly and strive to produce an effect. Moreover, Johnson & Johnson Cooperative is working together to accomplish shared goals. Within cooperative activities, individuals seek outcomes that are beneficial to themselves and beneficial to all other groups members. Cooperative is the instructional use of small group so that the students work together to maximize their own and each other's learning. It means that in cooperative situation, each member makes effort to reach the same goals. Newman, at cooperative, a small group of learners working together as a team to solve a problem, complete task, or accomplish common goal. In Jacob's opinion, cooperative learning is organized and managed group work in which students work cooperatively in small groups to achieve academic as well as effective and social goals. Other definition is a successive Other definition is a successful teaching strategy in which small teams, each with students of different levels of ability, use a variety of learning activities to improve their understanding of a subject. Each member of a team is responsible not only for learning what is taught but also for having teammates learn, thus creating an atmosphere of achievement. Terima kasih, mungkin itu saja presentasi mengenai proposal skripsi saya. Jika masih ada kesalahan, mohon maaf. Sekian, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.